Hey guys, Carrie here. In today's video, I'm going to be going over all of the fun glitches and exploits that I've found while playing Risen on the PlayStation 4 and PlayStation 5. So this probably works on all other platforms as well. That's right, you can do all of these on console. So we're going to be starting with the easy ones that I'm sure most of you guys know, and then we'll amp up to some pretty crazy ones. So first off, we're just going to start it real simple. I'm sure everybody knows this one, and it's just how you can get into Harbour Town early without paying 100 silver on the back entrance. It's just positioning your camera to hop up these rocks. You have to time your jump right through that bush, basically perfectly, to land on those rocks. And then just like that, you're inside Harbour Town. So that's really nice because you can come here early before hitting the Dawn's camp, for example, so you can get all the hard work out of the way here. Alright, so now how about the Monastery? That one's pretty tough. And you come up here, you'll speak with this guy and he warns you about the guard. If you get too close, this guard will capture you and you will then become a part of the monastery. But if you come right over here, that rock straight ahead of me, again, if you time your jump perfectly, keeping your right foot on that little bush, you can just land on here. And then it's going to take some tries. I recommend when you're standing on this rock to position yourself while holding the L2, because then your character won't toss himself hard left or right doing those dodge mechanics. And then you can jump up onto this floating platform, and from there you can just hop right into the monastery. It's really cool because when you're up here, there's a lot of things you can do up here, essentially, and you're not a part of the monastery yet, as long as you keep your nose clean, I guess. So like this is the murder scene of Hemlar's room. I think that's the NPC's name. So like that chain of events hasn't even happened yet because we got in there illegally. And yeah, this guard, obviously super easy to bypass him. You can do this at any point when you join the monastery or sneak in like me. And then you can just run and hop onto this roof here. And once you get far enough onto the second roof, this one right here, the guards will give up chasing you. And if you let a few minutes pass by, they'll forget about you and then you can safely walk among the upper level. So it's just cool. There's some NPCs you can interact with and other stuff. But yeah, Master Palace down here, you want to be really cautious not to talk to him. Because if you do, guess what? You're part of the monastery now. So here's another cool one. If you ever want to kill an NPC without actually killing them, you can essentially just huck them off a ledge. And then you'll notice you'll get all of their inventory. And if there's witnesses, the game doesn't consider you as the one who murdered them. So it's a really interesting mechanic, and I'll go over in a future video doing a bit of a speed run on why this is so good. If you accidentally go over with them, it's kind of funny because you don't drown, but they do. So you'll just end up on the dock. You'll still get all of their inventory, so you don't have to worry about that. Should you find an NPC like this guy who has an infinite health bar and cannot die, the game just kind of plucks them right back over here, and they will. In this case, he got stuck and just kept going up and down.
I heard you're a pirate.
We're starting with the hard questions, are we?
Yeah, I don't know, it's a little glitchy here. Normally they will not keep doing this. Okay, so here's something cool, a little bit of a tease here, but I started the game in the full Ursagor's armor set with Titan weapons. Okay, so obviously it's not a brand new game. I obtained these through a glitch I'll show you in a second, but as you can see I do have all of it, and I'm still in chapter 1 because Sarah's on the beach. I will mention though that I'm pretty sure you are locked out of beating the game by doing this, so this one is kind of a double-edged sword. You can obtain the armor, but you don't want to craft it, or else you will get kind of hard stuck in the chapter 1 and 2. But anyways, these pesky barriers that you find throughout the game, and you just can't seem to get through them. Well, as it turns out, again on the PlayStation controller, when you press, I believe it's X to interact with it, your character will kind of walk up to it and he like zaps his finger. He's like, oh, a barrier. But in the animation of him walking over to it, if you press circle or whatever the cancel button is to cancel that animation, just like that, now you can sidestep right through these barriers. So we'll show that again there. So start the animation, cancel it, and then you can sidestep. And once you do that, you can actually sidestep through it for quite a while. It's like it kind of breaks that barrier for a bit. Enemies will still get stuck on it though, so you can kind of cheese them. And you can do this to get into late game areas and obtain like the Titan weapons this way. So it is pretty OP, and it works with all of them. So here's one in the monastery underground. Honestly, don't know what's even supposed to be in this room. There's like a bookshelf and a chest with nothing in it, so maybe later on that will become something. But yeah, once you get really good, you can outplay ash beasts just like this early on and get a bunch of free loot. It certainly is difficult exploring those caves in Chapter 1, but I mean, there you have it. I'm level 11 and I've got a bunch of Titan weapons, so that's pretty cool. But again, don't build that armor if you get all of it. Okay, so up next, remember those rooftops from the monastery that we were climbing on? Well, I'm sure most of you have figured out that you can climb all the way up this mountain and get into some interesting positions. But something that you may not have known, or maybe you've known from watching speedrun videos on PC, but there's a flying glitch in this game, and you can do it on console. It's just very difficult. So in order to do this glitch, you activate your levitation, and then when you're pressing against a slope that you would normally get resistance on, the game will push you back. So again, that's why I come all the way up to the top of this mountain, and then I made a save file right here in front of it to practice. So right there, you kind of see it's pushing me back. Well, if you nurse the controller, the joystick, at the right time, you'll end up doing this weird super speed flying thing, and it's pretty cool. So let's go over that again. So I'm moving forward with the left joystick until the game pushes me back like that, and right when it pushes back, I release the joystick, and I let the game push me back. So I was holding it too much right there, and then I tried again, released it at the right time, and then you start moving backwards. Now it's really key that in order to fly the way I am, you look around with the right joystick, and in order to dictate how he flies, you only tap back on the left joystick a couple times. Might not even need to tap it all the way. It's kind of a bit of a finesse thing, because if you do it too hard, he'll kind of like get interrupted and just end his flying animation. But yeah, once you get really good, you can start just like cruising, and all the controls are inverted. So there I pressed forward and went backwards. I'm pressing left, going right. So it's all inverted. And eventually you can end up getting stuck where you're just like floating out in the middle of nowhere. So if you ever are just floating like this and you want to get down faster without dying, just make a save. So here we go. We'll just make a brand new save, and then go over to load and load your save. When you do that, he'll still be in his levitate, but it'll put him on the ground exactly where he was up in the air, but down below. So you can kind of get around a little faster that way. Just a nice little trick. If you end up, God knows where, from this little flying glitch, again, just find a slope where you'll have some collision, and you can get that glitch working again. And yeah, you have to really nurse pushing back on the left stick when you do this, because he does really build some momentum. So if you don't keep kind of nursing that, oh, and watch out for those green crystals. Of course, flying too close to that, it will cancel the effect. So yeah, for an example here, if I just decided to let my guy go, he gives the Flash a run for his money here, and before you know it, you will, I don't know where you are, but yeah, you're just off in limbo now. So hopefully you have a save somewhere else. Yeah, so for example, I use this from the monastery to get over to the Dawn's camp. Just zip right over here, and there, right below me is the Dawn's Camp. So this big rock right below me, I'm just going to pull back on the joystick, move around a bit here until I'm at a normal speed. And I just slowly fall. I'll speed this up until I can drop and not die. So this rock you can get to by foot from the Dawn's Camp. So I'll just walk all the way up here when I'm done in the Dawn's Camp. And yeah, you just find an area where you get some collision. And there you go. And you're off. So yeah, this is by far one of the coolest glitches. You will need a lot of levitate scrolls, obviously, so I've been buying a ton of those in bulk. But yeah, you can fly anywhere you want. This is what speedrunners use to get the Titan weapons like really early and really fast. They'll come around the back end here, and then they fly into the caves underneath the volcano. Don't really know where the heck I ended up, but I don't quite have that strat down yet. All right, so this is one that I discovered. I don't think anyone else has done this or even thought of it, but this big door behind the monastery that opens up in like chapter 3, I think, you can actually get behind it early, and it's going right through this little crevice over here. But first, in order to go through there, you'll need to load your game. For whatever reason, from loading your game, you can clip through this one rock. So you just walk right over here, get yourself kind of sandwiched in there, and then you start sidestepping until you're in the rock. So it's key that you hold down the left stick while maneuvering back here so you don't toss yourself off the edge. And yeah, you want to get right on the corner, and then you'll need a levitate scroll. Just like that. And now you fly towards the cave. And then eventually you clip through the wall, and you're now inside that cave early on. There's that door, and it is still locked. So yeah, it's a really interesting glitch. You can do other things in there once you get through the wall with your levitate, but it gets kind of wonky when you're in that weird, like under the map kind of scene. So it's up to you if you want to do it. I've already ran down here and opened up this big door, because why not? And then, yeah, you can get some more gear, amulets, super early. So yeah, anyways, just showing it again. There it is. You just load your game, shimmy into that rock, hold down the left trigger, so that way you can't accidentally hit left or right on the joystick and like throw your character off the edge. So I'll try and fall down into that cave there just for fun. I'll just speed this part up, obviously. There we go. Getting really close to it, so you can like see the cave there, and I'm just like floating outside of it. See, that's how it gets kind of weird like that when you look around, so it's a little strange. And then yeah, you just fly through the wall, and you can clip into this cave super early again. I think there is a barrier close to this one anyways, so you can just use the barrier trick, but yeah. Alright, so I almost forgot about the glitch that I opened the video with, the running around, floating in the air. So obviously that stems from the levitating glitch. I used that to fly all the way over here, right above the statue, holding back on the left stick until I come to a screeching halt. And then you'll notice that I don't fall right now. I'm just sitting in place. So that's because there's an invisible barrier right below me. And it's not just right here where the statue is. This barrier exists in various locations across this map. And then, yeah, you can either remain in levitate or you can exit and run around on it. But eventually, when you do find the edge of one of those, you will fall. So just note, if you're out of levitate, typically that fall is going to kill you. Nonetheless, very interesting glitch. So it's going to make the list. Anyways, guys, I've got some other videos planned still. Definitely leave a comment if you know of a glitch that I didn't cover in this video. I'd love to hear it. Thanks for watching, guys, and I'll catch you in the next one.